Hello, good evening. Hey, Tony. Hey again, Tir. Welcome. So today is a very good day, and you know why? It's a very good day because we managed to put together something that we may call a release. I mean, still bugged, and there are still some issues, and it's still an alpha, but it's a package. So it's something that you can download and run, and I don't know if it will run on your machines, but at least it runs on mine. So it looks like it does, but obviously we need to test it because I don't know if there are some additional dependencies or anything else, right? That we need to be sure that still working as expected. So now I don't know if you want to download, the 4 GB now, or you want to wait a bit that we release a new one because we are still, working on it. And I think in the next few hours I will probably put up another one. So I don't know if you want to download, like 4 GB now, but just to have another one to be downloaded. We don't have a patching mechanism yet, so we cannot patch the game yet. So I think that for now, every download will be a new full download. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. I have to figure out a way to do it. But yeah, let's go here. Okay, it's posted on our website, by the way, by me. But we are not 100 people with marketing department, PR department, and website department, and social department. No, it's always me. Well, no, it's me plus a lot of other people are really helping me lately, so which is great. Which is a lot of people from the former team, like Sway, like Venelan, like Tua. So we have a lot, Eonwind and Zona and such. So a lot of people are really helping a lot and been helping a lot for many years. And I think it's still a great team. Obviously, we are doing it in the spare time, so you cannot pretend because we are doing it in our spare time. But I think we managed to anyway to do good progress despite the complexity of the project and despite the time that we put into it, which is again just a hobby. So is in the spare time. But there is this new say item here on the website, which is saying that we are very close. I would say we have it, but there are still some tuning I want to do. But let's say we have a kind of an alpha release. Why I call it alpha? I call it alpha because we know there is still so much that is broken. Okay, so for all the ones of you that will download it, you will see a lot of broken stuff. Okay, so that's intended. We know it, and is normal. That is the way it is. Meanwhile, while I'm speaking, let me just download the latest. And rebuild is still quite broken. Well, why is broken? It's broken because let's say we didn't yet refine all the pieces. There are some parts that are missing, and the migration script from the production database is not fully completed. So those are mainly the migration script from the former production database is the one that is the most important and still has to be completed. So this is something that will come anyway in the next few days. It's not very far anyway, so it's I don't know, about 5, 6, 10 hours of work away, something like that. So if you split it in 3 evenings, I think could be fine. Now, what does this say? Well, this says that we bring some very good news. Today we built our first Planeship Unreal Alpha release, and at the moment it's not complete, but the core is working. Yes, the core functionality, I would say, is there. There's still some problem, for example, with quests. We know You have to open and close the UI a few times. Maybe when you get a quest assigned, it's not working fully as intended. But so we still have some problems there. So yeah, what I want to mention is that we really started with many doubts about the migration, and I mean, we were not even sure it was actually possible, you know, because migrating such a monster is tough, you know, is a lot of work to migrate all of that. If you look back at the statistics, I think that we have what is the name? What is the name of the website? I always forget it, but they changed name. They changed name. I don't remember. But anyway, if you look at the statistics of the old game, it's really made of you know, millions lines of code. Wasn't Open Up? Okay. Was AOHOLOH was the old name. Now it's called Open Up. Okay, so is this one? Let me show you. So if you look at, yes, exactly, Planeshift is the only one that I searched in this thing. So if you look at the old game, you know, and you see 1.26 million line of code, that's a bit daunting, you know, in terms of our ability to actually migrate it. And if you look at the if you look at the complexity at different languages, is made of XML, C++, PHP. I mean, there is a bunch of stuff in here, and it's really a lot. Now, thinking to migrate this thing, we were really unsure if it was even possible. I said, like, oh, we will have to redo it from scratch. But the Linux version, I don't know. I can package it. I just have to manage a bit my time. But packaging it should not be too complex. We can try. We can even launch it tonight and see if it builds. You know, we can see if it builds. We can launch it now and see if it builds. So yeah. So also the other part was really the graphical side, because the graphical side has really hundreds of meshes, textures, material, sounds, dialogue. So really a mess, and it's still in a tough spot. But I would say the majority of the 3D is actually ported. Actually, in some cases, we've even expanded it. So what I want to mention is that this alpha version, again, is not a version that you can really play and enjoy as a player. You know, so I'm not expecting you to download this thing and play it. You know, again, because some of the stuff is really not intended to work. Combat being one of those things that I really need to refine. I mean, yes, you can kill a monster. Yes, you can, because you can attack him somehow. But I mean, it's not enjoyable yet. You know, so the fight is not enjoyable because the monster is chasing you forever, and it's not really proper, right? So it's not an alpha that you play, okay, but it's an alpha that can help us, you know, to do few things. In particular, I would like to catch the most critical bugs which are shutting down the server. So there are still some, being C++, unfortunately, C++ is good and bad, but the bad part is that if you do something wrong, you manage to crash, you know, your server completely. And so we need to make it more robust. So what I want to do is to have other people test it, launch it, and see if they catch any critical bugs that crash the server. We already found a few in the last few days, and we already fixed them, but there may be more. The other thing I really want to test is player performance of the server when multiple players are connected. It's not something that I can simulate by myself, or I can simulate with like 2 or 3 other developers. I think we need more people and see what happens if 20 people are standing in the same place. What happens? I already know that there are some components, in particular our movement component, the component that makes the character move, which is really not optimized for networking. I've seen that even when you stand still, when your character stands still, there is a significant amount of traffic going on, which makes totally no sense. And so we need to change that. But first, I want to see how it performs, assuming that those people are actually moving, or having 10 people move, and see what happens. And then the other thing I would like to see if it runs on your machines, just to see if it runs on people machines and with different hardware, new hardware, old hardware, laptops, desktop, and every one of you has a different hardware, and so potential is a good test. Okay. So we will start with the Windows release because just is the easiest for me to create. But for the Linux one, I already have everything set up, so should not be too hard to do a Linux release, and we can try and launch it and see if it works and see what it produces. Okay. For Mac at the moment, I don't plan to do it immediately just because it's too much work. I prefer to fix the game than just spending time issuing releases. Now, also the Linux one is a bit the same problem. I mean, I can spend 2 or 3 hours, to do this one, or I can spend 2 or 3 hours to fix maybe something else that we want fixed, and then release the Linux one when it's working. So I mean, it's a bit of a balance, but at the same time, you want to know if it's working on Linux okay. So that's definitely also a good goal to know. I'm pretty sure, by the way, it will work on all platforms because Unreal Engine is pretty solid as an engine. So I don't feel that it will not work. I'm pretty sure it will work, but maybe there will be some, special tweaks we need to do, special thing we need to do by platform. So in terms of testing, I don't think that you should report bugs. So like you start the game and your character doesn't have the right items in his inventory, or you start the game and one item is disappeared or whatever. These kind of bugs I already know, and we already know which are the areas that are kind of bugged, and I don't think it's useful at this time to actually report those kind of bugs. I don't think it makes sense. Let's try to stick to these 3 things. I think that is the best that we can do. So catching critical bugs, testing performance with multiple players and different hardware. There are so many other bugs that we already know that if you start to report, this kind of stuff will not be very productive. So the other thing that is love and hate a bit by many people is the decision to give to the Patreons the access first. Now consider there is anyway an alpha. So what they are getting, if you are not a Patreon, what they are getting is something that is not fully working or whatever. It's not enjoyable yet as a game. So it's not that you are losing whatever so much, right? But it's just to give back a bit, to give a bit of a special thanks to the people that decided, to be Patreon and to support us, even if, as you may imagine, we are all adult people, mature people with a job. I mean, $1 or $2 or $3 will make absolutely no difference in our lives. So it's more of a support, it's more of a signal, like someone saying, yes, I want to be your patron, I want to support you. There is this, $3 kind of entry point, and it's like buying us a coffee, right? So it's not that we want to make money out of it, because if we have to pay, if we had to pay the salary of professionals that we have in the team, and their hourly time, would be an insane amount of money. I mean, anyone in the team would be like easily $1,000 per day. If you have to sell it as a consultant, or $600 per day as a consultant. So they are all very senior people, very high level people. They do this for hobby, but their profession somehow is connected to this. So so we are losing money every minute, right? Making this game just for fun. We do it for fun. We do it because we like to do it, because we always wanted to do it. But so just to say that Patreon is not a way to repay our work fully, because it would be impossible. But unless the Patreon really becomes thousands of people, and then it may start to work. If it becomes thousands of people, then it may start to be reasonable. But until they are like a small number, it's more really to show your support, to show your appreciation for the game, and just to give us a signal to say, hey, I like what you are doing. I buy you a coffee, I buy you a beer. Continue doing what you are doing. So, and that's very important for us. It is really nice to know that it's someone that is interested in what we do. And anyway, so this is why. Okay, so this is why we do it. So if you are a Patreon today, you will get access to the downloadable version of this alpha version. Don't get too high your expectations again, because the version is not in very good shape. I mean, it's working, but it's not in very good shape yet. If you are not a Patreon, just wait a bit. I don't know when we will release it for everyone, but I don't think it will be a long time. Okay. And or you can become a Patreon. You can become a Patreon right now and just get it now. Okay. Okay. So what I want to do. Okay, Amnader is here. So what I want to do, I want to repackage. So one of the issue that we had is that we got some errors for sure in the packaging. Now the blocking errors, we removed them, and so now there are no more blocking errors, but there are still a significant number of warnings. I think about 600 or so, which I don't know exactly if they are problematic or not, but this seems to be not game breaking, let's say. So this seems to be okay. One thing that I found out, and I'm pretty new to the process as well, because I never packaged. I mean, I packaged the Crystal Ant game a few years ago, but I never packaged recently in Unreal. What I see is that the packaged version, which I put in here, the packaged version by itself is pretty big, but you can zip it. The version without compression is about 9 giga at the moment, and if I zip it up, is this one is 3.7, 3.6, 3.7 giga. So there is the zip file that you should download. Is 3 point something. What I've seen is that inside this directory there is not really much, so there is one exe. I mean, this server I added it myself, so let me go in this other directory. There is this Windows No Editor. I don't know why there is this folder in between, but I think that this folder we can remove. I can zip from here down. There are these two manifest files, which I have no idea what they are. Okay, they are giving you some information about the files. I don't think they are needed. And then there is one exe file, which is extremely small, by the way. It's 180k. I'm impressed. 180k, and then inside of that, I think this is just the launcher, because then inside binaries. No, it's really I think everything else is inside PS Unreal. Ah, yes, there it is. Oh, it's shipping with a PDB. Okay, this one we can remove it. Why shipping with a PDB? This file we can remove it. It's 500 mega. We can try to remove it, and I think it will work anyway. So because it's the debug symbols, right? Debug symbols I don't think you need. Well, you may need it for a crash, but maybe I can leave it in at the beginning. And then there is this content, and there is this insane pack. There is one file of 9 giga. I know that you can split it, so maybe we can decide to split it in multiple packs. I think that may be better for patching, right? So this is something that we have to think about, because if we split it, for example, in textures, sounds, audio, whatever, I don't know, and then we just modify one of those, we will be able to resend you, for now that we are in this alpha thing, let's say just that file, otherwise you will have to re-download everything. I know there is a way to. Another thing that I see is that there are no configuration files at all. So if I search inside of this star.ini, completely empty. So what I don't know, and I have to see, is if the configuration files are embedded somehow into this pack, which probably the answer is yes, or if I have to supply the configuration files separately. This is something that I don't know. But what I know is that if I click on this thing, you know, apart from MariaDB, which is this file that I have to copy, and the reason I have to copy it is a bit long, but it's fine. If I launch this thing, it starts, right? Yeah, there is no splash screen, there is nothing at the moment, but it actually starts. Do you have any future plans for a graphic update? Yes, things will upgrade as we go. We already have much better. NPC and can get improved. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think we need, we need a stable release first, and then we can. The limit will be only the imagination, because there is so much that Unreal Engine can give us. I mean, we can connect virtual reality glasses, we can do motion cap, we can do whatever we want. Right? So it's just a matter. So the capability of the engine are insane. So I would say are unreal, but yeah. So, but you see that, for example, for servers, right, is defaulting to this one. So it means that the XML that is inside of the usually is inside the config data is not here. So it seems to me that the packaging is taking all the files excluding the config XML, which I can provide separately. I think is not a problem, but still. Okay, let me try to. First thing I want to calculate is how much time it takes to, or maybe it tells me how much time it takes to build a real pack executed in 84 seconds. But for sure it's not 84 seconds. What is the total time of execution to build a package, you know? To build the package. I don't know, I think I can calculate it myself. I think there is no... This one took 396 seconds. I don't know, it's a bit... Stats, textures... There's a lot of stats. 400 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. That is the, the full list of what it did during the... Maybe there is a total time here somewhere, but... I don't know. It's easier if I just relaunch it. But okay, let me do this. I will just delete this. Boom, it's gone. 9 giga, and we will just launch the script again. Okay, which is this one, build shipping client. So now is 9:49. Now is 9:49. Okay. So I want to see how much time it takes. Do you want to do it on Linux as well? I mean, I can do it on Linux as well. No. Yes. So 9:49. We just have to keep an eye. I think it takes about 10 minutes or so. I mean, I don't think it's too long, but still, I mean, it's not 1 minute. I think it's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or something like that. To do it on Linux, I have to first of all stop the server. By the way, the server is running. This is the server running. Maybe I can make it a bit bigger for you. Let me see. Change settings. What is it? Appearance, font, change. No. Aha, much better. So the server is running since I think 3 days and never stopped. I mean, it's true that no players are on it, so that's probably the reason, right? So there is no players at the moment which are on, and so it doesn't crash because no one is doing crazy stuff. But the good thing is that it's still on. So I just stopped it. Right. Now, I don't think we have a script to build on Linux yet, but I think we can make it. I think it's exactly the same. I think it's exactly the same as the Windows one. You see, here is cooking packages, cooking package. So it's basically packaging the game. What I'm searching this script, right? I'm searching the script, and at the same time I'm also searching under Linux. I had a discussion the other day with a guy on Linux, and he helped me. 7.5. Let me search my name in here. Maybe. I'm on another screen. I'm just checking. Because he sent me a command line, and I didn't save it anywhere, obviously. It was not a long time ago. It was like 2 or 3 days ago. I had a discussion with this guy. Let me see. There it is. Okay, I found it. So LD library, blah blah blah. LD library path. He sent me. I mean, I found the discussion. There it is. I found it. Okay. Copy. Okay, I found it. So maybe I put it already. I have a sense of deja vu. Maybe I put it here already. No, I didn't. But I think we can create something that we call build shipping client .sh, and we can see. So the command he sent me is this one, and now I would like to compare it with the one that I'm using in Windows, just to be sure, just to see if it's doing the same thing. So it's doing run uat.sh, okay. Then he has the build cook run, yes. He has these scripts for project. This script for project, I have no idea what is it. This is interesting. Because maybe it's what I'm missing. Let me see if this thing finished. No, it's still running. No PA4. Client config. Okay, for me it will be client config shipping, not development. Server config. I also have server config, but server config we don't want it. ETF output. This one I don't have. Platform Linux. Okay. Server platform Linux. I think all of that we can remove. Target platform Linux, minus build, we have minus cook, minus all maps. He's using minus compressed. At the moment I didn't compress it, but minus stage, minus archive. We also have a minus spec. He doesn't have. Archive directory. Okay, an archive directory is where you put it. So it's very similar. I would say it's kind of similar. The things that we are missing are this one, script for project, which I have no idea what is it. I think that for now I will remove it. Let me just save it here, commented. So for us, what it will be? Still packaging. For us in Linux, it will be. It will be very easy because it's here, right? It's Unreal Engine. So will be home, plane shift, Unreal Engine, and then the rest should be the same. So engine build batch finder and UAT. Let me check, but I'm pretty sure. Yes. Skip for project, we remove it. Build cook run is good. Project path is pretty simple because it's under PS Unreal and is PS Unreal PS Unreal U project is this one, right? So is home PS Unreal / this guy PS Unreal.u project. There's no P4. I have no idea what is it. But I have it here as well, so we can leave it. Client config will be shipping. Server config, we don't want it. UTF-out, we can leave it. Platform Linux, minus server, no. Minus server platform, no. Minus target platform, we can leave it. Build cook all maps compressed, I don't want it. Stage, what is stage? Yeah, stage we have. Archive we have. Is missing minus spec. I don't know why. Unversioned cooked content. What is this unversioned cooked content doing? We have to check all these parameters. And then archive directory, still running, and the packaging is still running. And then the archive directory will be, I don't know, we can put it anywhere. We can put it under temp. And we can create PS Unreal shipping. Okay. Seems it's finished here. Eh? It seems this one finished. Let me see if you're saying something in the chat. Good evening, Maui. Yeah. Well, he's saying done, but it's not done yet. Still, he's still working on it. So just to finish this, then the archive directory for us will be this one, right? Will be this one. Why this one has quotes, the other one don't have quotes? I think we need quotes everywhere, by the way. No? I think we do. Okay, so that will be the thing, right? Before that, what I need to do. Oh, by the way, do we have 423.3, 424.3 here or not? I don't remember. Yes, must for sure we do. Yeah, I upgraded it, right? I think I upgraded this one. It's still running, and the Windows one is still, the automation tool is still running. How do I see which version is it? JIT status. No, sorry. Yeah. Come on, you can do it. No? Okay, yes, there is already 424.3 release, which is the latest that we are using. So what we need to do, now that the process is stopped, is to just SVN update everything. Right? So I want to update the full to the latest, because actually the server side was not fully updated since some time. So here he finished the process, but now he's archiving. So he finished the packaging, and now he's archiving. Okay, finished now. So it was 9:49, right? 9:49, 9:59 plus 3 minutes. So it's 13 minutes. So it took about 13 minutes. Okay, that's interesting. Let me just put it somewhere because I want to. Should I put it under? I think I had a packaging thing, but packaging and shipping a project. Even if this one was very old, this one was very old. So this was an example. This was just example and notes, okay? But the one that we want to know is PS Unreal, which is our thing. So for Linux, hopefully we are going to use this one. It's going to work. And for Windows, we are using what? For Windows, we are using this. And hopefully it's going to work. So Windows at the moment is 9 gigabyte uncompressed, 3.8 or whatever, 3.9 gigabyte after zip. Takes about 13 minutes to ship. Okay, to create the shipping package, to create the shipping package. Okay, so for Linux I have no idea. We can check it. Okay, so this one finished. So since it finished, it means that we have a package. Do you want me to upload it? I mean, I can upload it. I can upload it somewhere. There is a dev meeting in game. I'm sorry for that. There's a bit of a duplication of what I'm doing, but I mean it's an overlap, not duplication. Overlap. Okay, I mean if we want, I can upload that version. Is there any of the Patreons here that really want it now, or is okay if you wait, the next shipping or whatever. So if you really want it now, I can upload it. There's no problem. Just that I need to test it a bit more, maybe. Let me see the size. Yeah, it's 9.1 giga. Now, for whatever reason, this thing is not including the configuration files, which is so weird. So where is default engine.ini? I mean the ini file. Where is it? Is embedded in the pack. I mean, it's like inside this huge 9 giga thing. Hello, Jian. Do you think they are inside the pack? Because, but people may want to tweak it, or we don't want them to tweak it. I mean, at this point, I would like them to tweak it if needed. So I would like to have at least, because there was this line which was very interesting in the Linux one. Scripts for project. Is this the one that is there were two things, this one and there was also this one, unversioned cooked content. Is this one going to get all my other files? Because I have a bunch. I have a bunch of files. For example, I have I have my INI files, but I have my server list. For example, the server list should go under PS Unreal config, right? And I tested this already. If I put it here manually in the shipped version, if I put it here manually, see what happens. Okay, apart from this, it is the usual thing that I have to copy, because at the moment it's still not split between server and client, but I don't care about it. No, but I didn't install, so it cannot be anything there. Huh? I didn't install it. You see, it took it. So now there is the he actually read, he properly read default server list.xml. He read that file. Before he was not reading it, so meaning that it was not inside the pack file, for sure. It was not inside the pack file. It was not. Let me try just for fun to create this Linux and see what happens. Nice, this one. We will call it, yes, build shipping client. And we will launch this thing. When you launch the game, you will put config files there. Oh, really? Okay. So I can go under, just a second, I can go under my local app data, and then navigate to what? This is a plane shift. Well, I already have a plane shift for the other game. I mean, for the old game. So I think they will like clash. No, it should be called PS Unreal, not plane shift. It should be called PS Unreal. Ah, yes, there is a PS Unreal. Saved, save games. It created this. It created under app data. I think it did it now, right? No, I did it this afternoon. PS Unreal saved config logs, saved games, but there is no default engine ENI or INI, or there is no, there is no ini file and no XML. Also, because how does he know that file? Yeah, but how does he know that file he needs to use? Unless I'm including it in some configuration or building files, how does he know? If I don't tell him, I mean, he cannot just take any unversioned files, Save it config Windows no editor. Save it config Windows no editor. Holy shit! Yeah, there is a lot of stuff here. 10 p.m. Yes, this one he updated now. Server config. Yeah, it still has the server side, but it's empty now. Luckily, it's empty. So my engine ENI is here because it's no more the default. Now is the real one, right? Core system. But compared to my default engine ENI, it's completely different. This was my default engine ENI. I cannot say that in English. ENI. Let's call it ENI, okay? The default engine ENI was containing, for example, all these logs, right? All these core logs were defined here. If I go now and check my engine ini, it does not have, all those settings. So it's like it's not porting this. I don't know. Let me see what happens if I launch the Linux build. If something explodes or what. Check the time. 10:13. Can you remember 10:13? 10:13. Seems to be running. You think that the others packages are inside the pack? Okay. But if I want to have a log, okay, I will have to think about it. I think that yeah, he's running anyway. my server XML is absolutely needed, but then there is also other stuff, because for example I have some XML files. Sorry, not here. Some XML file that we use and we load through the game, like these ones. No, actually, now that I think about it, these one are loaded only server side. Yeah, these one are loaded only server side. So actually, for the client, makes no difference. Yes, they make no difference. The only one that the client needs is this one, is the server configuration. Okay, let's try to launch it and create a character and see what happens. Okay, because I never tested it in the shipped version. Okay, so is this one the right one? Yes. So if I go on the test server at the moment is not up. I have to launch my localhost server, because the one we are building the Linux shipping thing, and so at the moment is down. But I can launch my local server, right? The problem is that we cannot show a ping. We cannot show a ping next to the server, which is very annoying. It is because our server doesn't have custom networking, but just the default Unreal, and I think the default Unreal doesn't provide you this capability, which is so. Sorry, my server said that it cannot connect without a database. Database is not up. I think I closed it by mistake. Yeah, the Linux one is running. It's giving some warnings, but I know those ones, so it's fine. Okay, the server is starting. I'm just looking at the other screen and seeing if the server is up or not. At the moment it's not up. I mean, it's going up, but it's here, so I can put it in this screen if you want to see. It's streaming levels at the moment. The server takes about 14 gigabytes of RAM on the server side with the maps that we have today, which is already quite a bit. But by the way, when you die, when you die, you just respawn in the city at the moment. Yes, that I will have to change. What is going? Is still streaming stuff, or is loading all the levels? I think I could, for the local one, not load all the levels, but Linux one still running for now, no big issue. But it's recompiling. Yeah, the problem is that he has to recompile the engine in shipping, because we had the engine compiled in debug. So now we asked him to do a shipping build, and in the shipping build he has to recompile the whole engine. So I think that this timing that we are taking is not proper, because this will happen only once, Okay, the server is up. So if we log in, localhost, yes, guest, let's see what happens. It's loading in. Okay, it's loading in. I guess I can select one character and go in, right? Yeah, so we need a loading screen from when you select your character and when you enter the game, because otherwise you will just see a blue sky like you have seen now, and nothing else. You know, waiting for the thing to load in. What can I do for you? Okay, but anyway, it seems to be working now. Ah, the grass is back. Okay, that's very nice, because we had an issue. Wow, the light is so strong though. The light is insanely strong. But let me see if we enable the FPS. Probably a bit small for you, but I have 70 FPS now. Why 70? I had 90 in the previous build. Okay. It went down. It went a bit down. I have 90 here. I don't know. But anyway, it seems to be working. Seems to be working. Yeah. '60 FPS. Oh, 60 FPS is very nice. '70 FPS. If I move the mouse very quick, I see that sometimes it goes down to like 20 for a second. But anyway, the FPS here seems to be pretty good. Okay, I think if you want to break it, I mean, that's good enough. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's working. Now, there are a few things we need to do though, because so if you, I can zip it and upload it somewhere. The problem is that it's 4 GB, you know, so it will take a bit to actually, for me to upload and for you to download. It will take a bit, but I can give it to you. Now, how can I fuck up all the passwords so that only the people that we want are logging in? Well, that's very simple. I can change the password field for everyone in the database to be something random, and then we will enable only the people that we want to log in, right? Otherwise we will have million people come. Well, not a million, I would like to have, but yeah, I think we can enable by email. The problem is that how can I allow you to change your password? I think I cannot. I think I can randomly assign you some temporary password. That's what I can do. Because I don't have I mean, the register page obviously is not made for Unreal yet. So if you go to Unreal, I know I can put it equal to your current plane shift password. That I can do, I think, because it's is crypted, but if I copy the crypted string, it will probably work, right? Inside, yeah, I think it should work. I think it should work. So I think I can. Oops. I can because all these passwords are crypted, right? So I can. So I think I can set a completely random password on all the accounts, and then I can re-enable, one account by account. Yeah, I think we can do that. So let me see. Let me see the update schema, because in the update schema, I want to have one. The other thing we need to do is to set all the players to be in the same location, the starting location. Otherwise, you will be in a very weird location. Yeah, meanwhile, it is recompiling, but I think it will take a lot. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me zip this file and upload it somewhere, okay? So that we have it. So, Unreal Shipping Client should be everything needed to run the game. Let me take this and let me make an archive. Access denied. What do you mean by access denied? Is it running? No, it's not running. What? It remained open for whatever reason? No, I don't think so. There is this one running. But this one is completely another directory, so why said okay, now we didn't say it again. Okay, so let's save it to shipping client. Let's call it PS Unreal 0.7.1. Okay. .zip. Yes. Now I think it will take a bit of time to actually make the zip file because it's pretty big. So this percentage is completely bad. It's completely misleading, by the way, because he has to zip like 9 gigabytes, and I think he's doing it by number of files. So it will take a bit, but while this is running, let's just plan what to do. What to do with our production database? Okay. Well, the PS Unreal production database. So I want to have this file, which is update schema.sql. This one, I think we should save it. We should change it to an SQL file. Definitely. And we can make, so this one becomes .sql, because I want to be able to run it completely, So all this stuff become comments. What are the comments in SQL? I don't remember. I think it's semicolon, no? Semicolon. No? I'm gonna check here. No, it's dash. Okay. Dash. Why if it's a SQL I put dash, it doesn't make it on our column? Okay, anyway. These are all the changes needed, you know, to transform the old database to the Unreal database. And I have to test this multiple times, okay? So the first one is about the string mesh. So for this one, I think we can create for this one, I think we can source another file, which was my original idea, you know, to put all the map, because otherwise this file becomes, you know, impossible to read, it's too big. So we can create another file. Still packaging, huh? We can create, yes, schema and icons. We have these two things. Now, these are the query that I run. Huh? These are the query that I have run. Correct? Correct. So, this whole thing, including this one at the bottom, no, these ones are not good, but these ones I think are good. Okay, and these ones are the one that I needed. These ones are empty. Okay, so let me do this. Why I'm doing this? Because we need a simple way, simple in quotes, but let's say a simple way to transform the old production database into the new database. And I want this to be one script. Otherwise, I become crazy of doing manual things, you know. So this will be a source of update schema mesh dot SQL, and this one will be update schema icons dot SQL. Okay, so we will have these three files. So this one will be this, which by the way I have open, but I think that we can close now because I have to regenerate them. Okay, so let me regenerate them with the latest I have. The latest I have, so the first one is this. I take this column up to here, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but we can easily see it in game, you know, if something is broken. And then this one's for the traits, right? No, this one for the traits I think I have already. Wait, this one for the traits I have already in the other file. Yes, so this one, so this will be all the meshes, all the mesh changes, and then I will have all the icons changes, which is all of this. They should not have any special case, right? So this is easy. You can just update it all this way. And this will be our update of the icons. Okay. So these two files I think are good. And so we will source this. Do we have the one about the icons down below or not? No. So I need to mention this, and then I need to mention same for icons. This thing is still zipping, huh? This thing is still zipping, and the Linux one seems to be proceeding. Kind of okay. So meanwhile it's doing that, we continue here. So we need to change the icons. Yeah, same for icons. So we do a source of this file. Okay. So with this, I think we did the first point. Then the second point, this one is the tough one. This one is the conversion of the coordinates of everything that we have in the different maps. This one is a complex one, but I think that anyway, I did most of the job already. So for this one, we have another file. We have another file which is called sheets PS Legacy, PS Unreal, character creation, no. Code migration plan, no. For this one, I think we have something that's called coordinates. Yes, this one. Okay. Okay, now for now we will change the coordinates only of the main city, okay, because I cannot do it now for everything else, but I need to do it, because we want a full conversion. We want a full conversion. And actually this file, now that I think about it, I already have it done. I already have it done here. Yes. There is the block that I have run for updating everything I needed in the main city. So this is the settle query. I think I can copy this and put them directly into. So that is for IDLA area. Okay, so it's not everything in the game, but it's the majority. What this is doing is converting the coordinates of the old game to the coordinates of Unreal. Right? Okay, so the zip file, I think it finished. The zip file finished. The zip file finished. Okay. So it's this. It's 3.8 giga. Now my internet is pretty good, but I don't know how much time it will take to, to upload 3.8 giga. I think it will take quite a bit. I can launch it. I don't know if it is gonna kill the stream, but I can launch it and see what happens. So we will put it under downloads and then a random directory that you will never figure out. And we try to put this here, okay? Tell me if the stream is going nuts, because it's possible. Huh? So at the current speed, it will take 30 minutes to upload 4 giga if he's calculating it right. Can you tell me if the stream is going nuts or if you can still hear me okay and you see the screen moving okay? I don't see anyone answering, so maybe the stream is fine. Okay. Because I'm uploading a lot, so maybe the bandwidth, you know, is not is uploading at 2.1 mega. I have upload. I think I have 20 mega, so I think it should be more than enough to keep the stream at 1080p. So the Linux one is running. Meanwhile, it would be nice to have also the Linux one. Why not? I never tested it though. I have no idea. I mean, the Windows one I tested it a bit, but the Linux one client side I never tested, so I don't know what to expect. You know, if it's gonna work or not. I have no idea. It's recompiling shaders. It's doing it on another machine, so okay. So then the other thing we need to do, okay, so here we convert all the coordinates. Then we have this one, which is the creation of the new table. Yes, this one I think is correct like it is. Dummy data. Okay, let's keep the dummy data for now, which is this. Then we will need the rules people to actually figure it out, because we have scalability in. Then this one is a bit annoying. This one is about yeah, the calculation of the angles in the scripts. This one is not easy. This one I think I need to do manually. This one will not be a script. Then we have the updates of the traits, which is very nice. This piece, which I think was, is this piece the same as the one I wanted to have here or not? Update traits, set P. No, it's not this one. There's another one. So I think that this one I need to add it. So I think that this one, sorry, number 4, I think is due manually. Okay, so I think there is no other chance. We have to do it manually. This one, I think this query is fine. This query is completely fine. And then, okay, I put it here already. Yes, this is the P2, P3, P4 is good as well. So this one we did. Then, okay, there is this security command we can add. Then there is this one, which is a math script for combat resolution. This one at the moment I really simplified because I didn't want the NPC to go crazy, so because it's not tested yet. So what I did, this one is inside math scripts. So and it's called decision on attack. I think I did it just returning always the same value. No? Maybe I did it in the other production database. Huh? Maybe I did it. Yeah, as you can see, the amount of data, yeah, I did it like this. Yes, exactly. So I did it super simple, just to, so for now this script will be only this. So basically nothing, but it's better this way because I don't want, you know, the script to go crazy. Then yeah, the Linux one is going on. Unfortunately, I cannot test it myself because my Linux server is headless. It doesn't have a. I mean, he has a graphic card, but it doesn't. It's not installed to be, you know, a client machine. So I cannot launch. I cannot launch the client at the moment on that Linux machine. Unfortunately. Then this one is still to be done. Yeah, this one is still to be done, unfortunately. And this is the most important one about containers. Otherwise, all the inventory will be in really bad shape. I think this one also has to be done, and this one I think we need to do it immediately. Otherwise, whoever connects with an old character, with a character that already exists, will have his inventory completely messed up. This one is a mess. This one is the change of books. So for now, this one we are not gonna do it. This one also we are not gonna do it for now. This one we are not gonna do it. This one we need. This one I think is good. This one also is good. This one also is good. And this one also is good. Yeah, this one unfortunately has to be redone, but okay. So, but I think that, you know, I need to take a new database, a fresh new database from production, and try to run it through this process and see if actually is working okay. The conversion is working okay, right? This is something that I need to do. I will not do it now, but it's something that I need to do as soon as possible. He's saying 21 minutes missing of the upload. And the Linux one is running. Okay, let's start to check while we are here. I made a page, where I was listing the most important point to fix for the test release. This one, test release must fix. So, yes. Okay, of all these ones, the build run on shipping mode is done. So I tested, both on Windows and now on Linux. We see if it goes well. The build run. So I think this one we can remove. The complete database migration script, I think we will use the current database. Right? We will use the current database. What I need to do, I need to fix, so let's say that the must fix for me is the containers fix. This one has to be done, otherwise it's a mess. Hiding the car, so This one is not here anymore. So this one is number 1 at the moment, and these two, I think they are optional, but and then I have to change the player position. Now to the player position, I think we can put it in this list, and I think I can easily change. I can just do 1 mega pass. Let me just close a parenthesis somewhere here. So columns is not okay. So I need to do 1 mega pass on all the characters, but this one is not correct. So update characters, set blah blah blah, where character type equal to 0 or 1. Don't remember. This one we have to do it right, otherwise we fuck up all the NPC positions. Character type 1 are NPC and 0 are players. Right? Yes. Yes. So I think we can do a massive update on all the characters in the database, setting them to the middle of the plaza. I think this location is kind of the middle of the plaza somewhere. So this way we will be sure that whoever connects is not keeping his old position, which may be completely unrelated, you know. Hello, Jigul. Maybe the issue with missing file in packaging can be solved with project setting, project packaging, advanced, additional non-asset directory to package copy. Yes, I think that someone told me that, maybe you. I don't know, someone told me that already, and yes, I think it could be the way. The problem is that it's saying directories. In my case, it's files, it's not directories, but maybe we can just put, you know, all the files that are not packaged into one directory, and so maybe it would be easier. The Linux one is still running, it's compiling millions of shaders. But anyway, in the meantime, if we do duplicate session and we do this SQL thing, I think I have plan shift minus prod. Yeah. So I think if I take plan shift prod and I just change the position of all the players in the game, I'm on my machine, yeah. Just have to be sure I'm not doing in the real production. If I do in the real production, it's like boom. Okay, so yes, in my machine. So if I do this, I updated 259,000 characters, which are basically all the characters that we have created in the game. Oh, the download stopped. The upload stopped. No, I restarted. Okay, stopped for a bit. It's saying 15 minutes left. 15 minutes left for the upload of the zip file that you can download. Okay. 259. Okay. And 440. Yeah. This number. 259, 440. These are all the characters we have in the database. Now they are all in the same location. Now they are all in the same location, which is in the middle of the plaza. Okay. So let me see if we can think about this container thing. Because this container thing is super annoying. Let me do it in a simpler way. What is the quickest way I can do it? The quickest way I can do it is by starting my server without all the maps and my client without all the maps, which is the quickest. So if I go under content, maps, and I delete everything except podium and idla map. That is just to speed up a bit the testing, you know, otherwise it would take us forever. Okay, so now the server, my server should start pretty quick, and my client as well. So the problem we have is that containers, let me read it again, but I changed the way container slots were managed. I don't know if it was a good idea or a bad idea, but I did it, okay? So where is that? Containers. For containers, we decided to remove the plus 16 slot ID we have in containers. Exactly. So item instance location in parent for the items in a container should have a slot which is equal to current slot minus 16. Okay. Because what happens now is that if I launch my server and I launch my client and I connect with a character that was migrated from the old game, my inventory is really fucked up. Yeah, I think the Unreal Engine client will attract again old players, but I'm really hoping that it will attract new players as well. So if I go localhost, yes. And I go with my, no, mistakes were made. It's pointing to the other database. It's pointing to the other database. I have to switch it to plane shift production. And I can avoid, let's put all of this to false so it's loading quicker. It's just for me to see. It's just for me to see what is going on with the inventory. And I will show you the problem, which is, by the way, is exactly the same problem that you will face while connecting. Great, Zipon. You are new to the game, so you are one of the new generations. Or one of the new generations. Yes. So nice. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm getting distracted. So what I was doing, yes, I launched the client and launched the server, and now if I'm going to connect to mine, I should see my character here, my real character. Yes. So this is my real character, right? My real production database character. Now, apart from this, we should have a loading screen, but we don't have yet. Remember, if you see a blue sky, just wait. Okay. So if I go here and I open my inventory, this is actually my production inventory. But as you can see, it's really fucked up. So first of all, it has a million more slots, and second of all, if I open a container, which is like this glyph sack, the container is also completely fucked up. You see, it sees so many slots while it should not be. And I think that this number is exactly 16, because these are 5, so 5, 10, 15, 16. You see, it's exactly 16 slots offset from the for what it should be, right? And the reason is that I did the change in the IDs of the items, of the slots. So we need to bring back this item to this location. And in theory, the trick to do it, let me take maybe a screenshot of this so we see if everything stays in the place it should stay. Right. So if I take a screenshot of this, right, and we go, so now we need to understand what we need to do. In theory, what I'm saying is that item instances location in parent, but only for the items that are in a container, should have a slot of current slot minus 16. Now the problem is that we have containers on the ground and containers in player inventory. Luckily, thanks God, we didn't allow containers inside containers, which is great. Okay, so how do we do this? We have to do it only for the contain. So let me check. So in item instances, so we take item instances. Item instances is made this way. So we have a parent item ID. Parent item ID should be valid only if it's in a container. Because if it's in a player inventory, it will be null. So we can do greater than 0. I don't know if there is any case where parent item ID is 0 or 1, but we can check it. Parent item ID equal to 0. Yeah, actually there are a number. So these ones So we have, so it's not just null. Yeah, but you see 1 it doesn't exist and 2 doesn't exist. So I think we can say for all the ones that have parent item ID greater than 0, right? For all the ones that have parent item ID greater than 0, I have to change the location in parent and make it minus 16, right? Now, if I have, for example, this one, which is 16, it will go to 0, and I think that 0 is correct. So, in theory, there should be no item in this list which has a number below 16. So, if I do parent item ID and location in parent less than 16, should be the result should be 0 in theory, hopefully. Okay, is not. So we have a number that are 0. Now if we apply the rule and we do minus 16, this item will go to minus 16, you know, and it's not a good idea. So why these items have a parent ID and at the same time they have a location in parent? That's very weird. Or these are bugged items. How many we have in the database? It looks like we have a lot. It is interesting to understand why, though. It is interesting to understand why. How many we have? Wow, 6,600 items. Are all those zeros, or there is also something more fucked up? So let's say and location in parent greater than 0. Okay, so it's basically between 1 and 15. Holy moly. We have 5,000. So the rule will not work. The migration will not work this way. But how is possible that there are some containers? How is possible there are some containers which have, you know, a fucked up slot? Let me see if the download finished. I think we will hear a sound when it's finished. We will hear like a bling 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 bling. It's saying 1 minute left. No, I need to understand this because my logic was that all were moved 16 slots, but it seems that they are not, and if they are not, I have a problem. How do we do it? We can go in game and search for this item. So I think I can get any slot, right? Yeah, I can get any slot. Slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4. All the slots are filled up. All the slots are filled up. I don't understand how it's possible, but anyway, it is possible. Because you see, character ID owner is 0, so these are items on the ground. There are some which are guarded by someone, but these are definitely items on the ground. I mean, we can take one, go in game and see what is it. Maybe they are all action locations. That could be. It's pretty weird though. It's pretty weird. Okay, let's take a few of those and see what happens. Okay, so we have a 20 now. We have this ID. Let me open another one. Because if we don't understand this, the items would be completely fucked up. So let me open another item instances. Okay, so we do it in parallel. Let me close a bit of this, which I don't need at the moment. Din 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 din. Okay, so the file is up. The file is up, boys. So I can post it somewhere and you can download it, okay? So I will post it on the support channel, which is enabled for Patreon, and I will post it in the Patreon page, right? So if you are not a Patreon yet, you can become one, and you can just go to patreon.com/planeshift, and you can chime in with I don't know, a $3 donation or whatever you want, and that will enable you to get the alpha version of the game and download it. If not, you can just wait a bit. I mean, wait a bit, like a few days, few weeks, I don't know how much it will be, but not much. And we will open it up anyway to everyone, okay? So it's just a way to say thanks to the people that want to support the game. It's just a way.
You got any shop?
Okay, let me do this. So I will go in Patreon and I will post this URL. Let me check just if I have it. Yes, I have it. I have it. And we are going here. New post link. And I will say the title is Planeshift Unreal Alpha version. This version. So the link is this. Is for Patreons only. Let us know in Discord if it works for you. We also say please read this thing because okay. Why doesn't allow you to? Okay, you have to make a text post because a link post is actually not working for some reason. The only problem of the text post, I think that they are visible. Fuck. Everyone will be able to read it. At least the first part. At least the first part. Why this one doesn't become a link? I have no idea. Plain shift area alpha version. By the way, this version is 0.7.1. Okay. I don't know if I don't know. So it's about 4 gigabytes. Okay, I posted it. So if you are a Patreon, you can just go in the supporters channel in Discord, or you can just go to the Patreon site and you should be able to see it. Now if I log in as a non-logged in person, yeah, you just see the first few words of it but not the full one. Okay, so I think it's fine. It's about 4 gigabytes, so if you want to download it and let me know if it works, that would be nice. Now the Linux one, I can try to upload the Linux one as well, but it's still working. The Linux is still running, looks like. No, this one disconnected. Okay, but I was inside a screen, so it should be fine. Oops. Yes, still compiling. Is it? It will finish eventually. So the Linux one is running. I don't think it needs much more, but yeah, we have basically all the levels in. So yeah, we need to solve this problem, boys. So why we have items which have so if we take this parent item, right? If we take this item and copy, and we do item instance. Let me close a bit of stuff here because we have too much stuff that is not needed. Okay, so I think I opened another item instance. No, no, it's opening on the same one. Crap. Okay, so I cannot have two of the same. Well, I can maybe do a SQL editor, new SQL editor, assuming that this is my default database. Yes. So if I do select star from item instances where ID equal to this thing, okay? Okay. So this thing, first of all, let me try to understand what is it. Location in parent -1, so at least this one has now, so it's stack count 1, there is a guardian character, is inside a guild house, is an item inside a guild house, log sector 73, the problem is why is having an ID is not correct. His item standard ID is 7018. So if you go to item instances, no, if you go to item stats, and we find where ID is equal to this, is a wooden crate. So it's a wooden crate with 84 maximum slots. The question is why this. I think I need to go to this place and see this chest because it's weird. Huh? It's very weird. I think I need to see if those are bugged items or if those are real items. If those are real items, I think we have a problem. I think we have a major problem if those are real items. Search term is wrong. Null. Different than 0. Yeah, but still. So the problem, just to explain the problem again, right? The problem is that in the old game, we basically had the containers to go from slot 16 to slot whatever, right? So the 16th slot was the first one, right? At least for the container in the inventory. Now I'm starting to be scared that this actually was not the case for the ones on the ground, but you know. Now I didn't like this 16 something and I changed it in Unreal to start from 0, okay, to start properly from 0 and go up, you know, because it's also, I mean, it's easy. I didn't want to have the 16 plus, in the code it was this plus 16 everywhere and I didn't like it, okay, so I just removed it. Now the problem is that I did a query on the system and it seems that in reality there are some which are below 16 and it should not be possible, right, unless there is something that I'm missing. Maybe what I can check that if it's different between items on the ground and items in inventory, because maybe that's the trick, you know, maybe that's the difference. Maybe that could be this. If that's the difference, is good. If that's the difference, it's kind of good. So let's say parent item ID greater than 0 and location in parent below 16, right? So this should be empty and in reality is not. But maybe are only the one on the ground that start from 0. They're starting already from 0. So let me see the ones where the character ID owner, the char ID owner is greater than 0. Crossing my fingers. Okay, that's good then. So it means that for whatever reason, only the ones that are on characters are misplaced, right? Okay, so that is better. That is much better. So containers in PS Legacy in character inventory from 16 up. Containers in PS Legacy on the ground from 0 up. Containers in PS Unreal anywhere from 0 up. Okay, so the ones that we need to fix then are only the ones that are in the character inventory. So what this means that if I put this on the ground, what is going on then? If I take a container which is in my inventory which in theory is this, and I put it on the ground, it needs to change all the IDs of all the items contained. Holy moly! Are you serious? Yeah, because he has to switch it to 0 from, you know. I don't believe that is happening, but if that is happening, that's very crazy. Yeah, but probably yes, probably he's doing that. Probably he's moving every single item inside and he's reassigning the slot. The Linux one is still compiling, boys. It's still packaging, I mean. The Linux one is still packaging. So, okay. So let's try to fix the one in inventory then, okay, which are the ones that are wrong. So if I do, so the one on the ground we assume are okay. The one in inventory are bugged. So what should I do? I should get all the ones that have parent item ID greater than 0. Yes. Character ID owner greater than 0. Yes. And so I'm getting all the ones that are in character inventories, and they are items contained in a container, right? And of those ones, I'm doing parent slot minus 16. And in theory, I should have no duplications, right? Because we said that end location in parent less than 16 is empty. Exactly, is empty. The first one is 16. So if I do equal 16, boom, they go in, right? Right? So my query should be my query. Where should I put it? I should put it in update schema. Yes, is the one about containers. Is this one. So my query should be update item instances, set location in parent equal to, I think I can do that, right? Location in parent minus 16, where parent item ID is greater than 0 and character ID owner is greater than 0, right? So I'm taking all the containers, in the character inventory, right? And I should have no duplication. Now let me just think if there are some special cases like containers in NPC inventory. I don't think we have. I think containers in NPC inventory are empty. If they are selling you a chest, but they don't have a chest off. Containers of containers is not possible. Okay, so I think we are kind of good. Hello people, I see more people join. Thanks for joining. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, any question about the game, please just let me know, type in the chat, and I can answer it. At the moment we are working on the test release, the alpha release, which is actually out. We published a zip file at the moment for Windows of about 4 gigabytes and uploaded it for the people that are Patreon and are supporting the game. And I think I'm probably gonna upload also the Linux one when this one finishes, assuming that it works, but it's still going. It seems to me it's doing always the same thing, but probably not. Probably not. It's always doing compiling shaders, compiling shaders, compiling shaders. That's what it's doing. Compiling shaders. Okay, so should we launch it? I mean, I don't want to launch it here because it's a bad idea. I want to do a backup of the database before I launch that because it's a pretty disruptive query. So I can do a backup DB production, which by the way is copied on my machine, so it's not the real production. It's just you know 05010. So let's do a backup of the database that we have. We don't have a password. We have a password. Okay, it's doing the backup, so we can always go back to the situation where we were already. And by the way, we are streaming on Twitch and on YouTube at the same time, so if there are some people from Twitch, you can chat as well. And if you want to help me, just follow the stream. So follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. That would be nice. Okay, so the database backup is completed. Database is completed. Okay, so is this one file? It's 1.6 gigabyte, by the way. I mean, it's text, but it's 1.6 gigabytes of database. Our players are clearing a lot of stuff, huh? Okay, good. So now that we have our backup, I think we can easily, work on this one with no problems. So our query will be the following. So we'll be update item instances, set the location in parent to -16. Now, how do we see if it worked? Well, we can just launch it, then connect back in game and see if these items have been shifted up properly, right? And so, yeah, my inventory is not bugged anymore, right? Yes. Do we want to take one element as an example? I know it's too complex. Let's just do it and see what happens. Okay, update that means set item location in parent -16 when parent location. I think this -16 should do it, right? Because if it's 16, it should go to 0. Okay, go. He has to do it on potentially, I don't know, millions items. Well, millions, I don't know, but a lot. Because depends, I mean, not, yeah, a lot. So it changed. How many rows it changed? About 200,000. Okay, about 200,000. Sounds okay. Sounds okay. So now if I do, if I go back here and I do parent item greater than 0, character only greater than 0, well, I can just go in game. I don't want to do other queries too long. Let's just launch the game and see if my character now has, at least in that particular object, the items in the proper place. The inventory system could be completely redesigned to go away from slot and more a floating system. Yeah, in theory yes, but slots are pretty easy. I mean, you will have anyway an underlying slot system in the database, but so the engine will still consider them in a location. Then they will just have a visual location which is not sorted, but yeah, you could have just the box and just put the things in the box. Yes. Oh. Okay, so we definitely fucked up something, as you can say. The best is the book on the head slot. That's a very good one. That's a very good one. So what happened? What happened is that the database at the moment is considering, and this probably was the reason why originally it was plus 16, is considering the slot between 0 and 16 to be the ones, you know, the keep slots. Those are the keep slot between 0 and 16. The point is that it's not looking if those are contained inside a container. I really like the book on the head, by the way. I really love it. I think I will keep it. I really like how he closed and opened the eyes, you know, when he's inside the book. I really like that. So I don't know if it's a so I think it should be simple to solve, because when you are loading the character equipment, you should just check that that particular item is not in a container, right? If it's in a container. Now let's see what happens if I log in. A carpet vendor, yeah. But he's also a literate, because he has on his head a lot of books. By the way, when I enter in the game, things start to be even more crazy. Look at my hands. But let's see if the pouch, which is the one that we actually did the change for, is correct. As you can see, this one is correct. I don't know why he has all these slots on the bottom. I have no idea. Probably because this pouch is having, he has a capacity of, no, he has a slot number which is very high. Maybe he has a slot number of 32 or 60 or something. And at the moment it is not managed by a scroll, while it should, like this one. Yes, probably. So I have to put a scroll box around this, but this is kind of easy to do. So these slots are correct. Now let's see what happens if I move something from here to here. Okay, they kind of work it okay. From here to here, okay, they work it fine. From here to here, pretty good. From here to here, pretty good. From here to here, okay. From here to inventory, okay. From here to here, okay. So the movement between containers, inventory, and ground is working fine. Now I want to see if I put this one on the ground and then I open it. Now this pouch is on the ground and it looks good. Okay, so basically everything is working as expected, as I wanted, except the fact that the code is considering for your equipped items also the ones that are in containers, which is a pretty bad mistake, by the way, right? But it should be easy to solve somehow. Let me see this Linux thing if it's running or not. Still running, boys. They're still running. So I think that the query was right. The query was right. The problem is the code related to equipped items, which is not correct anymore in that case. So what crashed? The server crashed or the client crashed? The client crashed on quit. Okay. Crashing on quit is not too much of an issue, I would say, but it crashed on quit. So, what we need to do, we need to check when the character is loaded, right? When the character inventory is loaded, there should be a character load somewhere, right? Character load, and inside character load there should be the one that is loading his inventory for sure. Somewhere, calculate, blah blah blah. Guilds, loot, familiar, traits. Inventory load. Okay. There is loading. Is this only on PC? Okay, there is inventory load. Okay, is this one? Inventory load. Inventory load. So this one is loading the inventory of a specific character. Right? Now, in this query, I'm pretty sure that we are doing something. I mean, we were assuming that all the slots were above 16, right, for containers, and so we had no clash. And I think it should be inside this query or the next query. So let's see, select star from a instance where character ID owner equal to blah blah, and location in parent is different than -1. And location in parent is different than -1. Okay, so this is basically getting his whole inventory. I don't know if it's a very good idea, but anyway, he's getting his whole inventory, including the items equipped, including the items in containers, and including the containers, and including the items in inventory that are not containers. So basically, all the categories that are in all the categories. Then what is doing? Is checking if this is valid. Okay, then is cycling on all the items, is determining the type of the item, and then is creating an instance of the item, okay, which is fine, and then is loading the item itself. So each item is getting loaded. I will be interested to see if he's doing something specific. Not here, so it should be inside load items, I guess. I was expecting to see here something related to items equipped, but it seems no. So okay, so we go in, we loaded the single items, and we check the parent ID. We check the parent ID. Yeah? Okay, so this is the variable we should look, because these are the items that are actually in containers. But here is just loading the item. Wait. Retrieve location in world, if not in inventory or container. Okay, so this is trying to understand where is the item. It's trying to understand where is in the sector. Is loading the item position. Okay, all of this is fine. Unique item handling. The creative definition. No, but here we are not loading the invent. Here we are just loading all the items, which is fine, which is completely fine. But we are not loading the items equipped. The equipped. I mean, we are loading also those, but we are not, you know, setting them as equipped. So I don't understand if it is just loading the item itself, but it's not considering the items equipped. Why? You know how we can find that? We can find it if we go through the equip function, which is surely inside, which should be here. It's after the loading of the inventory. Display visual parts of the inventory to clients. Okay, so this one is let me see how it works. Equipped items, inventory, get inventory slot number. If is equipped item, okay, I need to create it and sending it out. The problem is that I think here is doing something very simple. Is thinking, yeah, but is inventory inventory slot number, get item. Let me check what is this doing. Maybe here is the miss. I think it is the miss. Get item index, find the slot index. Exactly. So this one is the function. Container. What is container? No, container should be null. Yeah, in fact, it's null. Find slot index. Okay, so this is the function that is fucking us up. Container get UID. If container, which is not our case, so we go in this piece, is saying if inventory num inventory item get location in parent, get location item get location in parent through inventory item. Get location, so it is cycling through the whole inventory. It is not very optimized, by the way. It is not really great anyway, because I mean, I think that the equipped, we should keep them in a separate array or something. Because why we need to cycle through the whole inventory? I mean, it's not that you have thousands of items, right? You have hundreds of items in your inventory, but still, I don't think it's great. Also because banking is inside inventory. I think banking is inside, so I will have to check which kind of cycle is doing here, but I think it's potentially doing it on hundreds of items, which is so. Yeah. This is the line that is fucking us up. Okay, exactly. This one is the one that is making the mess. Because what this is doing is only checking if the item is in that particular slot. Is not checking if is in a container. It's not excluding the fact that it's in a container. The problem is that if we add a new check here, we are making this whole code slower. This could be one of the reasons why originally the slots between 0 and 16 were reserved to the slot between 0 and 15 were reserved to equipment, so you could find them quicker. But it's not really true, because in this case, you know what is happening? You are anyway cycling through all the items and you are checking if that particular slot matches. But it's not very efficient anyway. But in any case, what we need to do that if you know, inventory item get location in parent through, what is this through? Adjust the slot. Return the location of this item in its parent item or in the player equipment, bulk or bank as appropriate. I mean, why has to be so complex? Item container, owning character inventory, find item ID, parent item instance ID. If not container, location in parent. Why we need to do all of this again? I don't get it. Why we have to do all of this again? In this case, I'm just speaking of the case of inventory, of character inventory get item in a particular slot, right? So when you are extracting, so here you are in a very specific case. You are inside the player inventory, so you cannot be on the ground. You want to get an item, and you know that container is null, right? So I think we can shortcut this. Instead of using this function, which is very nice in the cases where you have a container, but I think we can shortcut this. I'm thinking that I would like, instead of doing another if in here, because we know the container is not there, we can just directly say if container is equal to null, right? Just extract all the items. I still need to cycle on all the items. Unfortunately, I have no other way, unless I implement, you know, a separate array for equipment, which I think it would be anyway a good idea for optimization. But I think I can just simply say if the container is null, cycle through all the inventory items and exclude you know, so searching and equipped slot. So if container is null, right? If container is null, I have to cycle on all the inventory items right? And I want to check if that item, I have to exclude all the ones that have a parent. So if inventory item. I think I have get will be like get location in parent, which is the same, is the same function, but I just want to get. I mean, why I cannot access directly the slot? I think will be much easier. Why I need to do this thing? Because get location in parent to true. If adjust the slot. Ah, yes, I can just call it with false. Okay. I will just call it with false. Okay, perfect. Perfect. No, wait. It's not location in parent. Is get container item something. Okay, get container ID. Okay, so if the container ID is different than was greater than 0, I don't know. Okay, so it's greater than 0. So if it's in a container, continue. So nothing. Okay, so we are excluding all the ones that are in a container. Now, if it's not in a container, then at that point it's super easy. I just pass this with false, and I just return this inventory item. Okay? So if it's equal to the slot that I want, I just return the item. In this case, I'm searching an item which is not in any other slot, so which is in bulk, right? So I think this should do it. Now I don't know if it's only in this place or is in million other places, because but hopefully, you know, we are executing this code. When we are calling this function from every point in the code where we want to get an equipped item, hopefully. I hope there are no other cases. Now we need to see if it works, but potentially. The Linux build is still going. Shader left to compile 1. What does it mean? Is it really the last shader? Shaders left to compile. 1. Okay, stopped. Let me restart the session. Yes, it's going, just continue. Now it's building textures. It seems that on Linux it's taking more. Well, this Linux machine maybe is not as powerful as my PC, so that could be. But now the good news is that this change is only server side. So the client that you downloaded is, I mean, doesn't have to be updated. You know, so the client that you downloaded is still good. So who downloaded it? Again, Tir, you got it already, or downloading now? Downloading or downloaded? Windows install missing DirectX end user runtime and DirectX audio. So it seems that you are missing some, or yeah, because maybe we should ship, you know, we should ship the Microsoft redistributable. That's possible. It is exactly what I wanted to see. If there are some, okay, let me start again and see what happens. So now at least that function, which is the equip, should get the right item. In theory. I don't know if I didn't do a mistake in the code. Did we return in any case or not? Wait. I think there is a mistake. If I don't find it, fuck, I fucked up. I mean, we can still see what happens in game, but if we are in this if container equal to null, we should execute this, and then if we don't find it in this for, we should return null, because it means that in that particular slot there is nothing. So here there should be a return null, right? If it's not in a container, then we execute this. Yeah, did a mistake, boys. In fact, he's still getting it from the second part of the code. I mean, he didn't find it here, and so he arrived here, and here here he found it. Okay, so we need to tell the code that he has to stop. You could add minimum prerequisite when packaging. Okay, that would be good, because someone got this problem. Maybe he posted it here as well? No, he posted it in Discord, in the supporter channel, but he got this error. So I got Windows installed, missing DirectX and user runtime, blah 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 blah. So you say if I package with minimum prerequisite, he will do it. That would be beautiful. What do I have in my build client? It is what I have, so there is no prerequisites. I can try to add it and see what happens. Minus prereqs. But this means you need to download another 4 gigabytes. I'm sorry. Run UAT. I don't know. I just wanted to be sure that that was the right option, but I don't see these prereqs, but maybe it is not the list of all the... Why they don't have just a list of all the options? Anyway, I will run it with that and see what happens. That user has to install DirectX. Okay. Okay. Did we recompile? Yes, we recompiled. Now, I think shipping with the pre-requirements for me is super important, because we have a very big variety of people, playing the game. So if we don't ship the pre-requirements, I mean, it will never work. People will never manage to install the game. I'm pretty sure. Where do I find this freaking list of all the parameters? So, like for example, all maps. So if I search Unreal Engine options and then all maps, archive, packaging project. Why all maps is not there, for example? All maps is not there. I mean, there is not a full list of all the things. It's insane. Should be the first thing that pops up, the first thing that pops up. unversioned. Like prereqs, for example, here is not showing. Here is showing only compressed, cookall. Why there is not a list? By the way, something that you may like, Gion, I was struggling with log levels the other day because I wanted to see all the logs of Unreal Engine, and I was searching on the web a place, where there were all the logs that you can enable, and I didn't find it. It's not in the documentation. It's not anywhere. So at the end, I ran a command through the whole code, of Unreal, and I extracted the list of all the Unreal Engine categories. Maybe you may use this, which is from all the files. So basically everywhere there is a declare log category, I extracted the log category, and is in this list. So for example, let's say that you are trying to understand if there is a log for FBX import. You search FBX, and it is. So inside this source file, FBX importer, they have declared a log category which is log FBX. So if you do log FBX equal to log in your default engine ini, then you will get that log. I don't know why this list is not anywhere in the web. It's not in the documentation. It should be default, But the good part is the first two blocks, which are the most relevant, which are the one coming from engine logs and the one coming from core globals, which are the ones like, for example, net traffic, so net and things like that you can enable, right? Maybe you can use it. It's here on the wiki. Okay, did I recompile and relaunch? Yes, I did. Is a grep of the source code. So in 424.1. So there cannot be fuck. Why is it not working? There cannot be others, So it is the list. Boys, for some reason, is not working. Container ID is greater than 0. I think is correct, but maybe is not passing through this. Maybe there is another place, unfortunately, where we do the same query. I think it might be. It might be. Let me launch it in debug mode. I think it's not passing through this code at the moment. I think it's not passing through this code, unfortunately. So there is another place somewhere. Maybe when we are loading the initial character on the podium, on the pre-game, that we are still building textures. I don't know what it's doing. I think it's stuck here. The Linux one seems to be stuck there. I don't know how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if it goes after 6. But it seems to be stuck here since very long time. The Linux process, the Linux packaging. I don't know what it's doing actually. Okay, we launched the server in debug mode. Let me launch the client. You want to know everything about Unreal. Well, everything, you have to start somewhere. The easiest is to think what you want to make, and then based on what you want to make, you can start to delve into what you need. And I can tell you there are some very, very good examples. So most likely what you want to make, there is already an example on it. Like the other day, a guy was asking me some very complex stuff, like, sorry, like how do I retrieve the forward vector of the character when he's moving up, because I want them to change the movement mode of the character to transfer it from the current location to the location to the point is looking up in space, things like that. I said, okay, but what do you want to make? I mean, why you need to move the character up? So I want to make like a flight simulator. Okay, easy. And there was a video showing how to make movement for a plane. Yeah, it's not going through that code. Okay. It's not going through this code, boys. Which is bad, which means that we have two places in the code where we are doing the same thing. Probably one is in the pre-game and another one is in the real game. The reason is that in the pre-game we don't have the full character loaded. I mean, this character is like a preview of the real character. And so I think that in the pre-game, yes, we are going through something else. Now I have to understand. Where is that? But I think it's probably here. Is in this query. Yeah, is in this query. So in the pre-game, we actually do something a bit dirty. So we just do a query in the database to check that character characteristics. Okay, so we are not really loading a new character with all the capabilities and possibilities and whatever. We are just. But anyway, Marcel, if you have any specific question, you can ask. Maybe I can answer. I don't know. I'm still not an expert, but probably I know more than someone new. So our problem is in this query, okay? So select location in parent, flag, string mesh, jersey detection from item instance item sets, where item standard ID, character of the owner, okay, and location in parent. It is the trick. And location in parent greater than 0 and location in parent less than 14. I don't know why 14. I think it's 15. No. What is lot 15? Probably is mind. So yeah, you don't keep something in your head. But we were keeping something in our head. Is the elm location? Now probably 15 is mind. Okay, so we just need to add here and parent item ID and parent item. No, let me copy it. Why I should type it if I can copy it and zero error possibility. Parent item ID, right, is less than 1. I mean, is null or 0. I mean, it should be. It should not be. It should not be. It's different than parent item ID. Not greater than. I mean, I want it null. I mean, it should not be null. No, sorry. Should be null or 0. Because I think we also have 0 in some cases. Character ID owner is greater than 0 and location in parent location in parent is less than 16, right? And I need parent item ID to be different than null. But if I do this, I think I will get some zeros. No? It's never zero? I think it's risky. In fact, it is fucked up. I should get a result, not get no results. I think parent item ID should be 0 or null. Null there are known, but should be 0 or null. Parent item ID equal to 0. There is assuming that we never fuck up and we put it as null, you know, because if you put it as null, then it will not show up. Oh no, it will show up in this list. Or I do end parent item ID equal to 0, or parent item ID is null, but and you know, so I put in parentheses the or, and I keep it like this. So one of these two should be valid. I think like this is safer. Is lower but safer. Can you see the link I posted? No, I think links are automatically excluded. I mean, are filtered somehow. You can post it in Discord for me, and I will post it, or maybe just post it without the dots. Like if you post google.com like this, you know, without dots, and then I will. But no, I don't see the link you posted. I think no one sees it. I think. Okay, it succeeded. It succeeded, so the problem will be that still in game, we have a problem also in game. Huh? So we have 2 points to fix. One is the pre-game, and the other is the in-game, because we are using the inventory system in both cases. We are accessing the inventory system in both cases. I feel this Linux process is fucked up, you know? I mean, the EU editor is running, is using 588% of my CPU, and is using 4.9 gigabytes, but so it's definitely doing something, but it seems to be in a loop. Because there's, let me check the machine itself, if it's still alive. To me, it seems to be stuck. I'm getting some warnings on the Linux machine that the CPU temperature is very high and the CPU has been throttled. So, like, yeah, like this process is consuming too much CPU and too much power and is like messing up the PC. But to me, if I look at the screen, to me seems absolutely stuck. I can leave it there, but it seems that it's something not working. Yeah, that one I see. Pee-pie, pee-pie, pee-pie. You can just avoid the first dot and it will be okay. Pee-pie. BuildBot, Unreal Engine 170. Easy configuration for the Unreal Automation tool. Pee-pie. So you can create like a script that is building your project. Build, cook, run parameters. Okay, clean. Okay, so maybe it is the list, right? It is the list of all the ones that you can use. So in this prereqs is a see. What should I do with this? I can stop it and launch it again, but I think I don't know, it's taking forever. Should I stop it? I will stop it. I will stop it and launch it again. I don't know, to me it's stuck. I mean, it's there since hours. Well, not hours, but it's stuck since so much time. It's explaining the table down. Yeah. I think it is a very good list. I will take this thing and put it in the build guide and the build thingy. Packaging and shipping. I will say check this. And so I have it here and I will check it, but I think yes, all the options are explained here, which is nice. Prereqs. If true, adds minus prereqs to the command line, include prerequisite in the package games. If true, adds package to the command line, package the game for the target platform. Yeah, I need to read all of those because maybe there are some which are relevant to us. Like compressed, I wanted to know what it does. Discompressed your pack file to use fewer disk space but increase loading times. Okay, no. I think I want to use more disk space and less loading time. Encrypt P4 enables disabled interaction. I like this, enables disabled interaction. Okay, clean cook on the fly. Okay. There was some in addition that the other guy told me, like scripts for projects. I don't know what is this, but maybe it's something that he added manually to his run UIT. Maybe it's something specific, but the script for project doesn't seem to be in this list. And also stage. No, what was it? It was stage, archive, back. There was another one that I did not have. This one. Unversion cooked content. I don't know what is this. Unversion cooked content. This writes no version into the cooked assets. Okay, so they are not versioned for some reason. I don't know what is it. We will then have to figure out all the. Do you know, Gian, if there is a software to do patching of the game on updates for Unreal? I mean, if there is any tool already made to do patching of the game, because in our plane shift we added, we made it ourselves, and it was based on X Delta 3, which was just a binary diff patcher. Okay, so we just used that, and it was working okay, but all the logic was made by us. I mean, all the launcher program was made by us. And I don't know if in Unreal there is something already made for patching the game. I mean, excluding Steam, because if you're on Steam, I guess that Steam does it for you. But yeah, because now I have like one pack file of 9 gigabytes, so you know. What I wanted to do, yes, I'm inside the screen or not? Yes, it was inside the screen. So I wanted to just launch the build again. Hopefully it will take less, because all the compiling in shipping mode has already been done, and most of the recalculation of the texture and shader has been done as well. So it should take, I mean, it will not restart exactly from where it stopped, but it will be. There is already patching built in Unreal, but is not for long run. What do you mean is not for long run? You mean that is new, or that is being created recently, or? Ah, finally. Can I have at least something? I think I had a sword equipped, no? No. Ah, this lady has a mace, and actually we see it. We don't see the traits here, though. Why we don't see the traits? Like the hair are broken here. The hair are broken. The hair are broken because I didn't run the update, the SQL update on my local machine. Okay, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, but it seems to be okay. Now let me see what happens in game. Okay, apart from the loading. Yeah, but it looks like okay. Looks okay. So if I put so now let me check my pouch again. Okay, so my pouch is fine apart from let me just check this incredible list. Okay, this incredible list is generated because I think this one doesn't have a scroll box. By the way, we should put a background to this thing. But, so the pouch, this glyph sack is derived from a basic object, item stats. This glyph sack, but this means that our update now is correct. I mean, our code is correct. Glyph sack has 64 slots. Yes, it's 64 slots. So that's why we are having that issue. That's why we're having that issue. So he has 64 slots, and I think the container item doesn't have a scroll box. I think we just need to add a scroll box to it. Oh my god, I can see the from the window here. Oh my god, I just saw it now. Holy moly. Oh, why have this black texture here? I know. Oh, I can see from here. Why cannot go? Why cannot go first person? I cannot zoom anymore with the camera. What the hell? Wait a second. I should be able to zoom. Why is not zooming in here? Maybe the camera was stuck somewhere. Ooh, I can look outside. Look at that. This window has a small glitch, but it's not very visible. Just a very, very small glitch. So I mean to patch the game a couple of times, or not. I mean to patch the game a couple of times, or not. I didn't use. It depends on the base version. The patch gets bigger and bigger, and the game too gets bigger. No, but that's not the way it should work. You should just patch the. I mean, it should just modify the. It should not be incremental, you know. I mean, it's not. What I mean is that. What I mean is that if you have, if this is your file, this is your pack file, and you change the, and you change this piece, right? And you change this piece, then the patch will just create a binary, which is this piece, right? And just apply it to the client. And obviously there is a simplification because it will not be this piece, but will be this piece, 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 right? So your patch will be looking a bit like this, but it's okay. So you can still delta this thing, and the final will be exactly the same size. Will be identical to your, you know. We were using x delta x. I don't know if it's still a thing. We were using x delta 3. We were using this thing. No, I don't want to accept anything. X delta 3. I mean, this is a UI, but there was a library, and so we included the library. You know. So I think it's still working anyway, just patching any files. So I was using this, and it was working okay. The problem is that we had to do it manually. I don't want to remake another. I mean, possible that in the wall Unreal community there is not someone that did this thing already. I can see through walls. That's not very nice. Okay, so by the way, if you press R, you roll in place, but you roll. Little tricks. I think I need to repack it with prerequisites probably. Is any one of you managed to download the zip file and have it running or not? Any of the Patreon guys? Any of you managed to get the file and my English sometimes. No, I was trying to type something in English, but I was continuously messing up the verbs. What I wanted to say. This Linux things is running again. It's running on shaders again. I don't know why, but it did these shaders already, or no? I'm not sure. But anyway, it's running. I think it fucked up when the temperature of the CPU became too high, and it decided to throttle the CPU, and probably this is where this process just stopped. But I don't know why it's recompiling the shaders again if it did it in the previous run. I have no idea. Guys, do you want me to upload another one with prerequisites? I can try to use this option minus prereqs and see what happens. Also, let me fix this maybe so that let me fix the containers with a scroll box so that we have let me launch again the editor. I think we just need to add a scroll box to that thing. But this is exactly the test I wanted to do, you know. Because I wanted to see what do we miss when we are distributing the game, and the earlier we know it, the best. Just to test it on different platforms and see what is going on different platforms. Since we have the luxury to have so many, different hardware and different players testing it, it would be very, very nice. Okay, so let me see here in game, in our window, we have a window which is the container window. Okay, so container details. Apart from the fact that we need someone to skin it because this is really looking bad, but I will survive with it. We still stink combining shaders. Okay, so this is our thing, right? This is our thing. This one, I guess, does not have a scroll box. There is a wrap box, which I don't know exactly what is it. But if we go, I think it's the one to make. If we go into our main inventory, right? I think we can see exactly how it's done. So in our main, because this inventory is scrolling already, so yeah, exactly. We just have a scroll box on top of the wrap box, so I think it's fine. So I think we can just add. I don't know if he has any specific properties or any crazy stuff, but it should be fine. So I think if we add a scroll box here, right, and we put the scroll box should be inside overlay, and wrap box should be inside scroll box. Oops, my scroll box just went in a weird place. What is this thing? And this is my overlay. And then we need to skin all the buttons and stuff because this window is really looking bad. But we will do it one day. This window is really looking bad. But anyway, I saved it like this. Let me see if I relaunch the server and the client. If now it's okay. There will have folder containing some installers. Yeah, but it will contain some installers, but we will not install them, right? So I then need to make an installer myself, as usual, like we did in the past. So to have then an installer which is launching all the things, yeah. Crap. Maybe we can reuse the one that we had for the old plane shift, exactly the same. You know what? I'm thinking to reuse also the same updater, but I cannot because it's done with the old engine, so it will never work anymore. We need a launcher. I mean, we need a launcher. Why no one did it? I mean, for sure someone did it, but wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. LGPL3. Is LGPL3 compatible with Real? I think so, no? No, it's not. Fuck, it's not. LGPL is not compatible with Unreal, huh? Yeah, prohibited. Yeah, because LGPL is but LGPL should be linked to proprietary software, right? EULA. Why the EULA is not money? Unless you are merely dynamically linking a shared library. Unless I'm merely dynamically linking a shared library. I don't know, bro. I will take this source code and rewrite it. But if they did it already, why I have to do it again myself? Why? Where was it? I lost it. Ah, it was here somewhere. Ah, I see. Game launcher updated for Unreal Engine 4 games. I can write to this guy and ask him to release it under Apache only for us, or release it only for us. Like I did it with another guy. There was another library that I really needed. I contacted the guy and I said, hey, can you release it for plane shift in whatever license? So like that we can use it with Unreal Engine. He said yes. So he changed the license for us, only for us, so it can only be used with plane shift. But not no not all free updaters out there will allow you to do binary diff of the pack, which is bad. Why you think it's bad to do a diff of the binary diff of the pack? Why you think it's bad? I think it's super good. Why you think it's bad? I want to know. I mean, binary difference is the best. So the end result, is identical to what you ship. Why not? I mean, I don't want to have an incremental thing. I really don't want to have it because then we'll make the game bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger for nothing, and loading times will be bigger and bigger. So I think that will be a bad idea. Is there an example? A C++ updater for you games. Build with Qt5. Why didn't build it with Unreal? He built it with Qt5. Why? Because he did it for other game engines as well. I think we need to do this because otherwise we become a mess. I cannot ship 4 gigabyte every day, so it's not possible. I just don't understand. Look at that, boys. Easy implementation. Why we don't have a scroll bar here? I mean, this one looks better than this one. Well, the background is sucks, I know, but at least we can scroll. No, I mean they does not have that feature. Okay. They should be in. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we are on the same page, Julian. Okay. Yeah. I can take back the code that we had. I mean, we had the updated code in our game, but you know, all that code is. I can remake it. We had the update. Is here the launcher. I think most of these classes will still be okay. Yeah. Like the downloader. I mean, we have like an we have like a downloader from HTTP. So there is a downloader which use curl, curl, how you want to call it. So there is the downloader class is downloading things, and we had a patcher, we had a binary patch. All this stuff is ours, so is under GPL here, but I can relicense it any time. Is ours. It's Atomic Blue stuff, so it's our stuff. So I can relicense it. And you see, he's using Delta 3. He's using Delta 3, and I don't know. Maybe all of this will already work. I just need to change the launcher because this one is done with Crystal Space, the old engine. So the launcher UI is completely to be redone, and I mean there is some work obviously, but the basic class like this one, updater, PS updater, I think somehow I don't know if I want to do it, but maybe the binary patcher, just this one patch file. See, patch file, old file, new file, source file. Was patching the thing based on the output of the delta. We also had a integrity check and verification check. So I can show you the thing. No. Sometimes my disks are going in sleep mode. So there is the launcher. There is the launcher app. So it basically have the pack file allows you to do bin diff on it even if it's encrypted, which is good. That's how Steam patch on it. Yeah, exactly. Because you may have it encrypted, yes, and if you do it binary, it's fine. Exactly. This is why I wanted binary. So in this mode launcher, you have the news, which are read by an HTTP file. and then you have the ability to repair your installation, which is doing a check of all the files and such. And then you have the settings, when you can check the audio setting, control setting, general setting, graphic setting. And then you can is checking if there is an update, and if there is an update, is launching the update. So I think yeah, I don't know, I need this, and everyone needs this. I don't understand why there is not a default, you know, a default one made with Unreal, just a default. By the way, guys, it's too late now. I really need to go. I just realized now that it's nearly 1 a.m. Oh my god. Okay, so I need to go. So the good news is that, let me see the Linux process. Where is it? Still compiling shaders like a boss. I relaunched it. It's still doing stuff. I will see if it finishes. If it finishes, I will upload also the Linux one. For now, so if you downloaded it, right? I think I will recreate it with minus prereq and with this small patch. At least you have the inventory right, and the loading of the inventory right. But what I can do, I can launch the packaging, maybe upload it tomorrow evening or something, and I can relaunch it now with this minus prereqs, and then we can instruct the people, you know, to click on those installers manually, because for now you have to click it manually because we don't have an installer. So I added minus prereqs, so I think I can delete the old directory. Choose this one. Yeah, I can delete. Boom, done. 4 gigabytes plus 9 gigabytes deleted. And I can build it again, and maybe some people will only check it tomorrow, you know, because maybe not everyone was on tonight, and they will download the another 4 gigabytes. And I will think about the delta diff anyway. You could also include DirectX if Packaged doesn't add it. Yeah, I want to see what he adds. You know, I want to see this minus prereqs, what he's doing. And based on that, we will. I think in the old game, I don't remember when we install. I think we were checking for DirectX. I think we were checking. Yeah, I think we were checking for it and installing it. We had our own installer. I don't even remember how we did it. I think we did it with Nullsoft. You know, the same one of Winamp. I think we did it with Nullsoft installer. I don't even remember. Pretty positive that we did it with Nullsoft installer, which was working on Linux as well for some reason. But you know, I would like to do it with Unreal, because then I can just package it, because I need it for Mac, for Linux, and for Windows. So, you know, I cannot do something myself like in a stupid language, you know. So I need to do it exactly on the same platform and release it on the same platform. So because I need it on Mac, Linux, and Windows. So at the end, I think I will take this project, the PS Launch that we had previously, and I will try to convert it to Unreal. The same I did with the game, the same I will do with this thing. It means I have to redo the UI, but the logic I think will stay the same. The patcher will stay the same. Yeah, I think this is what I will do. Okay, boys, I have to go. Thanks for watching. If you didn't do it yet, click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. And let's see you the next time. I'm very, very excited to have an alpha version out. I'm super excited. Super excited for that. I'm very happy about it. Very happy about it. Okay, see you boys next time.